secure the top 2 spot by the end of today to decide whether or not they advance in towards the final stage. As of yet, representing from Team Laos, we have J4ZBin, JVCKKK, Jack, also known as Jack, Too Easy for Lexi, XO as well as, who did I miss? Biston, coming from Laos.
And from the side of Myanmar, they have Black, Beno, Oh My Jenny, PS, as well as Gumi. Right now, Myanmar, their composition is actually very, very interesting, where they prioritize on defensive capabilities and then just hoping for the damage coming in from Oh My Jenny as well as Gumi. We have to see whether it will pay off or not.
Yep, seems like Team Myanmar, they're hoping to have Black with the Hilda going for those early invades. However, we are going to be having a little bit of pause. Yeah, we would like to have the integrity ensured as well. We understand that things like this is very, very important. It needs to be resolved to make sure that everyone is fair gameplay, because a lot is on the line and there is a lot.
You have a very, very unique advantage where you can just do a lot over here. And right now we can see where Too Easy for Lexi and Black is there trying to trade, but not a lot of HP is gone for either side.
Yeah, this is so smart coming from Team Laos, right? You can see the invades coming from Hilda. As long as you sustain all this annoyance, even with this sustains, as long as you do not die, you're gonna be fine. However, here comes the play coming from Baxia. That is gonna be Pia's punished for his greediness play, and Team Laos is gonna get a very, very nice convincing first blood.
Yeah, and that is a situation where you have to ask yourself, was it worth it or not? Because as of right now, Myanmar, we can see that what they're trying to do is control the jungle, but you're up against a Balman, which I kind of feel like even without those orange and purple buffs, it's not the end of the world compared to when they're using an assassin jungler. So I feel like, is it worth it for you to secure the orange buff and then die? I'm not sure.
Now, that's the thing, right? It's interesting enough that PS thought that he would be having the upper hand just because in terms of clear speed, but what he did not expect is that Balmont is able to equally match his pace. But now with the Toys Persona coming in, going for an early invade into a JVCK, knowing that Team Laos doesn't have the damage to punish this reduction coming in, he is going to get another kill. So very, very nice pick off coming for Team Myanmar.
Yeah, overall, we can see what they're trying to do is actually just control the jungle. And from the side of Laos, they're just trying to survive as long as they can. I feel like in terms of scaling, as we talked about before, is doing very well. And Myanmar, I do want them to play a lot more aggressively. And over here, 4 against 1. What is J4ZBin going to do? And he's going to die over there. The kill going over to the Hilda. And now Myanmar just going to focus on the turtle, and it's going to be a free turtle for them.
Oh, that was so unfortunate. You know, JVZBin has tried to go for a little bit of aggression. He wanted to get greedy by cutting on recruit base. Forced rotations down bottom, however, not able to capitalize on the other side of the lane because the matchups with the marksman for Gumi as well as Biston seems to be at a stalemate. So that's going to be a death for absolutely no trade at all coming from Team Laos.
And right now in Myanmar, we can see how they rotate. They try to control each portion of the map one at a time. First, they focus on the bottom side of the map. Right now, they're focusing on the top side of the map. I feel like for the side of Laos, they really should try to get this Beatrix ahead, because once she has an advantage, I feel like Laos can really play off of that very, very well and try not to give too much advantage overall over to Gumi. So I don't know. They can do that, or they just try to stall. Stall as long as they can. I feel like that is an option as well, because I'm really not sure Myanmar in the late stages of the game, do they have enough damage or not?
Well, seems like it is all about waiting for the right opportunity to strike. Team Myanmar playing a little bit safe, wants to secure their marksman's economy before transitioning into the next fight. 51 seconds left before this next transition. You can see everyone is trying to get forced reactions. As you can see, the annoyance coming in from Black is not triggering Team Laos enough to force a reaction. However, they do force out the divide. Oh my goodness, what is going on as well? Because oh my Jenny, he's surviving it all. He's gonna force a fight coming from Lexi, and he's gonna be caught out in open as well with the Toys Persona coming in. But from the side, J4ZBin will coming for a stalling Star Moon and take off Jenny. And at the same time, they are gonna trade 2 of their bodies. Not exactly sure was it worth it, but Myanmar, they're gonna be happy about this play.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for interrupting just now. I legit thought the Dawning Light was gonna be enough for it to secure a kill, but actually managing to survive that long, Laos really wanted that kill overextended and giving more and more over to the side of Myanmar. And this is why I say I wanted Myanmar to be a lot more aggressive, just because they have this natural advantage. They have this unfair advantage where tanky heroes, they don't need that much items in the early stages of the game. And look at that. Venom actually does a lot of damage to Social, where again, as we talked about, he does do a lot for the team, but he tends to overextend. And going up against a damage dealer Grau, you have to be careful of that. And speaking of which, he just got picked off by Oh My Jenny.
Oh, that's a huge pickoff coming over by Jenny as well. He's got the sprint. He was able to position himself to actually catch up. So now, with that kill, are they going to be able to transition here? Mid lane pressure is off the mark, and we are going to be hitting the 5-minute mark. So this is go time to actually chunk towards turret themselves, but unfortunately, they are going to be playing it safe. It seems like, based on Team Myanmar's position, they could be prioritizing and making sure that Gumi has a very, very smooth sailing punch. However, looks like the engagement comes up top as well. Bistan is going to be the way to go. Do they want to go for GVCK, or is it going to be Bistan? Bistan can harass his way through, but they are still trying to bait the hard guard coming from Laos. But apparently not happening, as Team Myanmar is slowly getting a little bit greedy in zone control, but it's all good. Forcing reactions is the way to go.
Yeah, I feel like with all the tankiness that they have, I feel like it is the right play, because the longer they save, the more mistake that's gonna happen. And then Jack over there managing to get away just because Xavier got that crucial stun on the side of Myanmar. So right now they are looking for mistakes. And speaking of mistakes, too easy for Lexi managing to get out of that mistake.
But it was so close coming from Jack. That should not have been possible, but at the same time, Myanmar's gotta force reactions. That's the way to go. Big space, take away aggression from the other side of the map, makes it easier for either the Boxer to get some sort of economy. But as of yet, objectives is going to be the big goal. 20 seconds for the next turtle up top. Seems like Myanmar, they are going to be going for the lane swap with the marksman down bottom, so that the rest of these 4 members is going to be contesting the turtle up top.
Yeah, right now we can see Myanmar, they do rotate a lot, but their rotation hasn't really been fruitful. And that's why we can see, yes, they are winning in terms of gold advantage, but it's really not that big. 17,000 over to 18,000, more or less just 1,000 gold difference. I feel like it's still quite heavily, I would say that it's still advantageous for Laos, just because, like, yeah, we are losing, but losing by just 1,000 gold, it's not the end of the world. I feel like they're still fine, especially with B3.
So it's a little bit different compared to the usual playstyle.
Yes.
But now, without further ado, we're going to be jumping straight into the game as well. As you can see, Team Myanmar, they are looking to go for the invades. As you can see, they have a front attack, right? But a big dotting light comes in. They are going to go for Jenny, and the sprint coming from Jenny is going to keep him alive. However, they will lose Beno in the process.
Yeah, we can see how Laos, they actually responded very well. It's like, oh yeah, you guys are coming into a very, very tight spot. And then the AoE damage coming in from Bistan, as well as too easy for Lexi. Myanmar, they have to be careful. It's like, yes, for now, you guys are getting away with a lot of this aggressive plays, but try not to do that a little bit too much. Right now, it's 8 minutes in the game, it's fine, but coming into the 20-minute mark is going to be very, very dangerous. So from the side of Laos, we can definitely see that in terms of scaling up, they're doing very well, especially since Bistan have not died yet.
Agreed. This is going to be very, very hard to actually play with, but as of yet, PS opening up the map a little bit more. They are going to sync up the lanes before heading towards the Lord Pool, but it's all about going for the patience game. However, Lexi does reveal that he does have the Radiant armor in the process, so the Eve is going to be having a little bit more of a rougher spot to get off pickoffs if he accidentally hits on towards the Balmond. But seems like the Lord Stars are going to be coming in as Myanmar trying to force a couple of reactions, but Team Laos, are they ready to fight? Seems like, yes, making an attempt. They want to go for the dive with Lexi, but they force the hard guard, and immediately when they see the hard guard, they back off. They are going to bait this out and draw this out.
Oh, but we're looking at this where a lot of missed opportunities coming side for Laos as well as Myanmar, where a lot of ultimates are used very, very early on. And look at that, Beno taking a lot of damage as the drop. Right now, he has to go, but in the bottom side of the map, Jasmine has no problem just taking the turret for herself. So right now, Laos, I would say they're in an advantageous position. They did not waste time. They got an objective over that.
Yeah, they messed up the hard guard of timing as well, but Myanmar looks like they are going to try and take the Lord finally, as they know they are split off as well. Jack needs to make a run for his life. PS doesn't seem to be able to chain stun his way through. However, here comes the dotting light, does connect on this piston, but they do get the turn of the rounds, as because Team Laos immediately punches his aggression coming from Myanmar, and just like that, they lose 3 despite getting the Lord. So very, very greedy plays, but J4Z Bin was able to save the fight from Team Laos.
That is the signs of Myanmar. This is the problem with their composition. if your damage dealers are targeted first and they're out of the game, it's going to be very difficult for you to really do anything after the fact. Especially since you did point out that Too Easy for Lexi already has the Radiant Armor. If the Eve cannot do enough damage, then it's going to be very, very problematic, especially right now. Looking at the itemization coming in from Eve, it's mostly focusing on the utilities with the cooldown as well as the slow. So not really going to do a lot up against the Balman. So it's going to be a problem where I'm pretty sure Myanmar, they can take the hits. I'm not sure whether they can dish it out as fast.
This is not looking good coming from Team Myanmar as well, because J4Z Bin is slowly scaling in terms of the Esmeralda, and Gumi not having Demon Hunter Sword nor a Thunder Belt alongside with Endless Battle. He is going to struggle to finish them all, but as of yet, it's not over yet. Here comes a big catch coming from the Team Laos as they chip them all low. They get one kill, but they drop everyone from the side of Myanmar down low to a point that they are going to be able to defend the middle turret as of yet from Team Laos.
Right now, Laos, they have the goal advantage as well as the kill advantage, and we have to look every single time it's off of those AoE team fight plays, because Bistan has a lot of AoE and it does hurt. It does hurt a lot. And then Too Easy for Lexi, he's just like, oh, you know what? I think this is low enough. I'm just gonna use little counter. Either you die or you're low enough that my teammates can finish you off, which is also he can just use his ult from a long distance. So right now, Laos actually looking like they're very comfortable using their composition. Maybe that's why they can play slow. It's just that they know when they're going to be very, very strong, and they don't care what Myanmar is doing right now.
Agreed. Now, it's all about the patience games as well. Dawning like Ham's like Sven as well scares Gumi off. Looks like they want to try and force a fight, and Team Myanmar, I don't think they can fight this at all. But the turrets are still standing, and mid control is going to be the way to go. It is going to be back and forth stalemates coming in from both these teams, but I feel like the biggest threat right now is Jenny. We talked about him being countered with Radiant Armor immediately. Now, the Genius one is up available. Team Laos, they have to find a way to pick a fight. But the question is, how?
Yeah, besides that, we also have to look at Clint. Already has 3 damaging items. It looks like he can deal out the damage, but again, the AoE from Laos is just a little bit too much. Right now, all of the members are here. All of the athletes are here except for J4Z where again, he is just staying down there. He almost like, you know what? I don't really mind what you guys are doing. I'm just gonna be comfortable. I'm just gonna set up shop here, and then I'm just gonna force Myanmar to really respond. And I think this is a very, very good play. Right now, Laos, they're forcing Myanmar to play a Laos game. They're not falling for Myanmar's trap. And speaking of that, we can see the engagement over here. Easy for Lexi is alone going up against 4 members of Myanmar.
Oh, no.
And he is low, and he has been taken down, and Jack is gonna go down with him. Bistan was there, but the damage was not enough. And right now, Myanmar, they're going straight for the Lord. But are they gonna get it for free, or is Laos gonna fight back?
Yeah, this is gonna be tough as well, because currently Laos, they have to go for the play. They don't have to clean around coming from Myanmar, but at the same time, looks like no plays are gonna be made. Dawning Light comes in, doesn't be able to go for the play. They don't have the retribution. It's not worth taking the risk. Eventually, as of yet, you can see they're trying to hold them off, but unfortunately, they just don't have the damage to do so coming from Team Laos.
Yeah, unfortunately, just now where Laos, they went a little bit, I would say, where Too Easy for Lexi, he thought that he could go for 1v3, potentially just taking out 1 or 2, and then just let Bistan clean up shop. But I feel like if in that kind of situation, Bistan was not that confident. But looking at the itemization here, he only just have his Blade of Despair as well as the Malefic Roar, so he can deal out a lot of damage with high armored heroes. Maybe he does need the Demon Hunter Sword as well, just having more DPS.
I agree, but as of yet, we do see the Blade Armor purchase up on PS. This is not going to be looking good for Bistan as well. He doesn't have the sustain to tank through the reflect coming in from Dit. And now another Blade Armor purchase from Black along with the Lord. This is going to be a difficult one coming from Team Laos, as Myanmar is looking to chip away at potentially taking the kill onto his Bistan with the 003. Now, Real Illumination comes in. Bistan gonna be chunked out towards 70% of health, and as of yet, he's trying to mow down the Lord. Unfortunately, the Real Illumination proves to be very annoying from the side Team Myanmar to do anything against the Bistan. Thompson ultimate, but the reflex coming in is just a little bit too much to work with.
Yeah, right now Gumi is actually dealing a lot of damage, and Esmeralda goes in front, but look at that. She's not able to sustain that much. For the side of Laos, they can do damage, but if they can't touch the Clint is just going to be too much for them to handle. And I have to say, in that team fight, we can see how Groff just went in, used his ultimate to set up the team fight, and just that in itself made such a disadvantage for Laos. They cannot defend.
Yeah, that's why I'd say it's such a difficult composition to actually play. But now here comes another pause coming in from both of the teams as well. But you can see from Team Laos, they needed to figure a way to chunk them down, right? Grok, extremely annoying, extremely tanky, a lot of damage, and we know for a fact that Team Myanmar is all about the waiting game. The core coming from Team Laos is going to be Beatrix. No,
And especially because they have an Eve, they can just make sure that Laos just stay in a small box and then just deal as much damage as they can. So right now, Myanmar is looking very, very good. The only way that they can lose is somehow Gumi or Oh My Jenny is picked off, because once those two guys are out of the way, Myanmar, they don't have a lot of DPS.
well, it's going to be extremely difficult to do so, considering that Gumi just got his immortality
Ooh.
up. That means this marksman
rough.
is nowhere near going to be
That's
picked
rough.
off. And on top of it all, they're all almost level 15 coming from inside Team Myanmar.
Yeah, right now Biston also just picked up his Demon Hunter Sword, so he can dish a little bit of damage, but again, just like Terran said, I do believe he does need the Hasclaw just to survive a little bit longer. So Myanmar, I kind of feel like the best thing that they can do is actually to stack up the minions, to just stop killing off the minions, just making sure that all the waves are stacked against Laos, and then with the Lord, just push it all the way.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Freezing the lane is going to be the way to go. You can see there is going to be some sort of plan as of yet, but they're still going to be sending the Beano down bottom from the side of Myanmar to make sure that the lane doesn't get shoved to their side as they start to make rotations in towards the Lord. But he is already making way towards the half health. Laos still looking for an opportunity, going for the strike, but a little bit afraid as Black will scare them off. Here comes the real elimination to push them back. They don't have the mobility, so that is going to be Myanmar securing the Lord.
Yeah, unfortunately, just now the Lord did not cooperate with Myanmar over there, knocking up Oh My Jenny. I feel like even at that point, Oh My Jenny is like, are you serious? Lord was the one that canceled my ult. But either way, right now Myanmar, they are controlling the map very, very well. I feel like this is their game to lose, so they should just make sure that all of the minions push at the same time, and once Biston already used all of his ultimates to clear the minions, it's high time. Myanmar is like, you know what? We're just gonna go in. We're just gonna end the game.
This is a little bit tough on towards Biston as well, because he's actually opting to go for the Hunter Strike instead of the Hasclaw. So that is a very, very difficult situation to be in, considering the amount of blade armors that Team Myanmar have. But let's see how it goes, because eventually it all comes down to defending against minions. So now, with the Lord very quickly focused out from inside Team Laos, the inhibitors are going to be exposed from the side of them, as Myanmar is going to be knocking in. Unfortunately to say, they're barely going on. Gumi now going to be caught out. They force flickers coming in, but Team Laos, they're still able to actually win the pool of attrition in this defense.
Yeah, and right now we can see the counter engage. Gumi is chunked down very, very low, but still they managed to take down the Esmeralda. Double kill going over to Gumi. Gumi right now still surviving and still, oh, never mind. His immortality has been popped, almost killed off over there. Biston using the flicker, trying to get a kill. He manages to get the Eve, but not managing to actually get Gumi. Right now, Biston HP is very, very low. Killing spree over to Gumi. Right now, 4 members of Myanmar is still alive. Only Jack is there to make sure that they can't push, but I don't think he's gonna do it. I feel like the first game of this series is going to over to Myanmar.
Yep, nicely done coming from Team Myanmar. A little bit unfortunate on Biston on his end, as he was not able to deal with the 2 tank compositions coming from Myanmar with the Grok as well as the Baxia, but all